You're listening to Bold Hearts, Big Moves, the show for female entrepreneurs who want it all: a thriving business, deep self love, and fulfilling relationships. I'm Erin Anderson, and each week we will dive into how to set stronger boundaries, make empowered choices, and show up in life and business with boldness, authenticity, and heart. Because let's be real, the money you make is directly related to the love that you have for yourself and the strength of your relationships. So if you're ready to lead with love and make those big moves with those bold hearts, let's dive in.
So I was in a Facebook group the other day, and the question was posed, what do you think is standing in the way of you chasing your dreams? And this Facebook group is full of female entrepreneurs, and I was like, we don't chase them, right? And I literally posted on that post, I was like, I don't chase my dreams, I attract them. And as I got thinking about this, I was like, you know what? This is a really good introduction and a really good podcast episode for Bold Hearts, Big Moves, right? So here I am doing that very episode because I think it's really important that we talk about, again, the difference between the masculine entrepreneur versus the feminine, because the masculine is the one that chases and the feminine is the one that attracts, right? I don't want to chase my dreams. I want to attract them. But in order for me to attract them, I must be also what my dreams desire. Interesting. See, if you think about attracting a man, well, we like to look pretty. We like to be challenging because men like a challenge. We like to have our own mind. And we like to grow. We like to keep going. And I know one thing that I personally enjoy about my marriage is the simple fact that I do keep growing, and it makes my husband have to keep chasing. And it doesn't mean like I'm don't think that I'm going out elsewhere, guys. Like, I love my husband very much. He's wonderful. But the fact that I keep growing means that he has to keep growing, right? And sometimes he's got to really, really push to keep up. But that's a good thing. That is a masculine trait, to push, to hustle, to I want to say force, not like, I don't want to say force you, that's not okay. But like the strength, the muscle, like force it, right? To muscle their way through. That's a very masculine thing, but it doesn't work well for us because we get to be the attractive one, right? And we get to do this exact same thing with our dreams. We get to be also what our dreams want. Okay? So, this idea that you have to hustle and chase your dreams, like, let's not. Let's not. Remember that it comes down to clarity on your dreams, right? Well, if we want a certain thing, well, who do we have to be in order to have that? And that's what I mean by we attract our dreams, right? That we get to be what our dreams want, right? So for me, you guys have heard me say this many times. I am Erin Anderson, a 7-figure business coach who drives a Ford Explorer and takes her kids and her family on amazing vacations, right? These are the things that I personally want to attract. These are my dreams right now, right? And it's wonderful for me to say that because as I say it and I sit in it, I can start to feel what is there and that energy, and I can start to get clearer with the kind of person I would want to be and would feel good at as being in order to attract those dreams to me, right? So instead of chasing, let's go ahead and attract, because here's the deal too, like attracting doesn't mean do nothing, right? It doesn't mean we just sit there in one place, but it doesn't mean that we have to hustle and chase after them either. And it isn't just about like sitting back and hoping for every single miracle. It's literally about becoming in alignment with your desires, with the things that you say you want. It's all about alignment. So that way your opportunities can come to you, right? Um, so like an example would be, messaging 100 people, just cold messaging them. I don't feel good doing that. I absolutely don't feel good doing that, right? But I do like the idea of creating really valuable content that draws in my ideal client, right? Where I get to talk about who I am, where I get to put my energy stamp on it, and I get to talk about the things that they want, attract my desire to me, right? And that works when we talk about the things that they want, they can, and how to achieve those things, and how possibly we've achieved those things. That's when we start to become attractive, right? So it comes down also to your voice, making sure that your voice is being heard. If you look at this from a biblical perspective, too, about the whole chase thing, Ruth didn't chase Boaz. Esther did not chase the king. They were just attractive, right? But they had to position themselves and they had to prepare themselves to be so, to get the attention of Boaz, to get the attention of the king. They had to position themselves as so. And what was amazing, I especially love the story of Esther in this particular episode. She kept being that attractor. She kept doing things that really got the king's attention, that made him respect her, that made him fall in love with her, right? And we want those kinds of things from our clients, like maybe not necessarily romantically, but definitely we want a client that can respect us, that we love working with, and who loves working with us, right? The experience is fabulous. And we get to step into that role. And the thing is with Esther, she had to step into a whole different role. She went from being a beautiful Hebrew to being a beautiful queen. That's quite a jump, but she did it because she was clear. She became clear with what being a queen looked like, and she went out and she decided to embody that, to embrace that and be the best one. So what can we do, right? Well, here's the deal. We got to work on our confidence, right? And I can tell you in my own personal experience that there have been times I haven't been confident in certain things and I don't attract a whole lot of clients to me. But the thing that I have personally noticed is the more my confidence grows in certain areas, the more I do attract the type of client I want. So if you personally want some help with your confidence, let's schedule a call. Calendly.com/Aaron-Anderson-coaching/busting money blocks. Go ahead, schedule that call with me. The link should also be in the podcast down below. And let's see if we can't help you with your confidence. But it also comes down to confidence in your clients. Confidence that that your clients are going to be honest, confidence that your clients will pay you, confidence in your clients that they know what they want to some degree, right? Like, it's really important that you have confidence not only in yourself but also in your clients, in your team, in your collaborators. And this is part of the reason too why confidence is such a major piece in attracting things. The female money mindset, right? Being able to do those big moves, and with those bold hearts, right? Like, confidence is key. And this is where the clarity, the connection, and the communication also come in, because when you have those three things in place, confidence naturally grows. So, seriously, like, book that call if you guys want help with that. Okay? The other thing is inviting success rather than, forcing it, because a lot of women do believe that forcing success, this hustle is the only way to get it, and those long hours, the constant marketing, and the never-ending chase for clients. As feminine entrepreneurs, we really are not meant to force things, right? Again, it comes back down to the invitation of finding that confidence in yourself, because when we have confidence in our identity, confidence in our ability to be a successful woman, right? It really does start with the belief. That's where the attraction starts. If we don't believe that we're worthy of a man, or a certain type of man, we're not going to try to attract him. And the same thing happens in our business. If we don't believe we're worthy to attract that type of a client, we're not going to try, right? We're going to attract the client that we think we're worthy of. Whether that client can pay you or not is questionable, but we will attract what we believe. Absolutely. Okay. So one of the things too we would want to do is really, really shift the mindset of ourselves. Like, what can we really help? Who can we really help, and how? Right? This is again that clarity piece. Instead of chasing after clients or money or success, what if you were already that woman? What would she be thinking? How would she be feeling? How would she be acting? Right? These are the three key things that get us from our circumstances to our results. What are the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions of that person already? And you have to be able to sit in that person's shoes in order to get there. So another thing I really love to do too when it comes to focusing on receiving instead of going out and chasing, right? Like attracting. Um I love to do this meditation where I just sit I have a really comfy chair in my room, and I sit in my comfy chair and I relax. I put on this beautiful music, and I envision myself as a goddess, right? And I sit in that energy. And I hold my hands out to attract the thing that I want, right? And I can see myself receiving these things. That is one thing that I love to do. The other thing, guess what I'm going to be doing if I want to attract that Ford Explorer? Guess what I'm going to be test driving, right? I'm going to go out and start test driving these things. If I want to take my family on amazing vacations, I'm going to want to start I'm going to want to start planning for those vacations. I'm going to want to start looking at places, looking at how much things would cost, right? And then what I need to do in my business to create that type of cash. What other things will I need to provide for, right? Like, I start planning. And the thing is if you start planning as though you already have the success, oftentimes the success will attract to you, right? See, the whole point here is the masculine and the feminine energies both have a really, really important role in the world, in each other's lives. And I've said it many times before, a masculine needs a feminine for purpose, for direction, right? If a masculine entrepreneur has a feminine in his life helping him see like the different possibilities and the different pathways that he can take, he's much quicker to take very quick action, go the direction he needs to go, and take actually more very precise action. Because a masculine, like I said, because they're very good at the hustle, because they're very good at the chase, because they're very good at the solidarity part, right? They're very good at the giving part and the showing up, right? That's what they're very good at. But if they do that like down one certain path and that path turns out to not be right for them, it can also really, really hurt their confidence. And women in general tend to see many paths in front of us, and we're able to pick a much more aligned path. Interesting, right? And this is how a feminine can show up for a masculine, but the feminine needs the masculine too. Without the masculine, we tend to have to take on a masculine role ourselves, trying to hustle, trying to push, trying to force our way through something, and it's not healthy, right? We need a masculine to be able to provide the solidarity around us, so that way we can feel that safety and we know that we can go out and we can create more and we can attract and we can do the things that come natural to us. We need each other, right? But if we don't have a masculine around us, or maybe we have a man, but he's might be struggling in the masculine role, right? If we do, this is where God comes in. He is a divine masculine. He creates that structure for us as feminines, right? And he loves the feminine entrepreneur, guys. Like, he loves it because we can create. He's all about creation. He loves creation. That's why he did what he did. And it excites him because we are natural creators. It's inherent. And so we get into this creation energy. What do you think God does? He's like, heck yeah, let me get a piece of that, right? So yes, we absolutely can still create, even if we don't have a quote unquote physical man around us, we can, because we have God or love. If you like, this podcast is definitely for Christian female entrepreneurs, but I get like that not everybody believes in the God thing. So the question is what is your highest form of love? To me, that is God, right? So here's the other piece to this as well. Communicate it, right? Men love the sound of a feminine voice, right? They absolutely do. That's one of the first things, actually, when a man is falling in love with a woman, he talks about the way she sounds often. Like, she's got such a petite voice. I love the way she sounds. I love the way she sings. Like, it's something about her sound. I love what she says, right? There's something about our voices that are deeply magnetic and very alluring, right? And so we can also do this exact same thing with the things that we want in life, right? We can literally speak it into existence. Because when we do speak out loud the things that we want. I am Erin Anderson. I am a 7-figure business coach who drives a Ford Explorer and takes her family on amazing vacations, right? There is a wavelength. This is scientific, guys. A scientific wavelength that comes out of your voice box that travels through the air, and the thing that you want also has an energetic wavelength to it. If you like get into infrared technology and whatnot, or whatever it is, like the technology that actually shows energy, they have it. All things have a type of wavelength. And when we speak the things that we want, it brings a type of wavelength. And what happens with waves? It pulls things towards us. If you think about an ocean, right? How do those seashells get to shore? People love going to the shore of the ocean and picking up seashells. They're of some type of value. I even have a couple here in my office, right, with me right now. They pick it up because the ocean waves pull it to shore. They pull it to the person, right? It is literally a magnetic thing, and our voices are very magnetic. And so the way that we speak, the way that we use our words is very evident. Our confidence, all of those things, these are key in being able to attract the things that we want. So here's the deal. Like, again, it doesn't mean doing nothing, right? It means doing the right things. Being in alignment with who you are is gotta first and foremost come from your confidence. If you feel like you want to create a business or you have created a business and it's not working out the way you want it to, there's probably some type of a confidence thing there. Schedule that call. Let's chat. Okay. But two, you know, it's all about the way that we speak, because when we have confidence, our words change it. Our words change naturally. It's trusting God. It's trusting his plan for you. It's trusting that you can take aligned action in that plan, and even how to have faith that you can keep going, right? The other thing that I love about, speaking up and saying the things that we really do truly do want is this idea that you're going to find the spikes in the road. And I talk about this, right? Whenever you talk about the things that you want, I am Erin Anderson. I am a 7-figure business coach who drives a Ford Explorer and takes her family on amazing vacations, right? Well, because I haven't reached that just yet, there's going to be spikes that come up in that path, and we have to pay attention or we might step on that spike, right? And one of the things that I've noticed in my own journey to being able to receive that and to achieve that is you know uh making sure I'm visible enough. That's not something that would naturally come to me. Like, I can be confident, I can teach all day long, but when it comes to actually letting people see me, that can be a little bit more uncomfortable for me. I'm more of a introvert actually than I am an extrovert. And so it's a little hard for me to be super visible, but you have to be visible, very visible, if you're going to achieve that 7 figures, right? In the way that I would do it. So I get to work on my visibility, and I get to work on the clarity there, and I get to work on the connection to the visibility and the communication to the visibility, right? Just an example of like one of the spikes that came up in my own personal journey since I've been saying this. But for you, you might want to pay attention to the spikes. They're not truths necessarily. Matter of fact, they're probably not truth at all. Because it's just something that's in our way right now. It's that block, right? And so once we start to heal those spikes, well, we get further down the journey. Okay? All right, my loves, I hope this was helpful. Don't chase your goals. Don't chase your dreams. You can absolutely attract them. And when you sit in that energy of being alluring, being attractive, and beautiful, it is amazing what you can create from that space. If you have any questions, please, guys, again, get that link, schedule that call, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
All right, Boundary Boss babes. I'm super excited that you tuned in with me today. Make sure you tune in again next week as we chat about more Boundary Boss Babe topics. We're going to get into so many other things about how to set boundaries with your business, how to set boundaries with your relationships, so you can truly have the time, the money, and the flexibility that you are seeking. So tune in next week. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Let your other Boss Babe friends know about it. And also, if you've got any questions, make sure you submit them into the podcast by clicking on the send us a text message at the bottom of the podcast description. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. See you later, Boss Babes.